Jack had worked the graveyard shift at Thompson's gas station for nearly 6 months. The pay wasn't great, but the job was easy. From midnight to dawn, there were few customers, just the occasional trucker stopping for fuel or a lost traveler needing directions. Most nights, Jack passed the time scrolling through his phone, sipping stale coffee, and watching the security cameras flicker in and out of focus. It was a cold October night when Jack first noticed something strange. The bell above the door chimed at 3:14 a.m., and in walked a man in an old-fashioned brown trench coat. He was thin, almost gaunt, with sunken eyes and skin that looked like wax. His hair was neatly combed, and his shoes gleamed under the harsh fluorescent lights. The man walked straight to the counter, placed a $5 bill down, and simply said, "Pack of Reds." Jack hesitated. Something about the man felt off. Not threatening, just wrong. Like he didn't belong. Still, he grabbed a pack of Marlboros, placed them on the counter, and slid the bill into the register. The man nodded, took the cigarettes, and walked out without another word. Jack watched through the window as the stranger vanished into the darkness, never heading toward a car, just disappearing into the empty road. The next night, at exactly 3:14 a.m., the bell chimed again. Jack turned from his phone, and there he was, the same man, the same trench coat, the same hollow expression. He placed another $5 bill on the counter and muttered, "Pack of Reds." Jack's stomach twisted. It wasn't the fact that the man had returned, but that he was wearing the exact same clothes, down to the smallest detail. Even the crisp $5 bill looked identical. Jack handed over the cigarettes, his hands slightly trembling. The man nodded, took the pack, and left just as he had before, vanishing into the night. By the third night, Jack was convinced something was wrong. When the man appeared again at exactly 3:14 a.m., Jack decided to test him. He reached for the cigarettes, then hesitated. "Sir, I think you might have left something last night," he said, sliding the previous $5 bill across the counter. It was still in his register. The man didn't react. He simply repeated, "Pack of Reds." Jack's throat went dry, but he handed over the pack anyway. The man left. This time, Jack rushed to the door, stepping outside into the frigid night, hoping to catch sight of where the stranger was going. But the lot was empty. The road stretched in both directions, with no sign of a car, no sound of footsteps. It was as if the man had dissolved into the cold air. Jack couldn't let it go. He pulled up the security footage from the past 3 nights. The grainy black and white video showed the man entering, standing at the counter, and leaving. But something was off. The timestamps were identical, down to the second. Even worse, Jack noticed something chilling. There was never any movement in the reflection of the store's glass windows. The man had no shadow, no presence beyond the counter. The next night, Jack braced himself. He prepared his phone to record, keeping it on the counter as 3:14 a.m. approached. Right on time, the bell chimed. The man walked in, just as before. But this time, Jack was ready. He grabbed the cigarettes but didn't hand them over. "Who are you?" he asked, voice shaking. The man's lifeless eyes met Jack's. "Pack of Reds." Jack's heart pounded. "No, I want to know why you come here every night. Why don't you ever leave in a car? Why do you have no reflection in the windows?" For the first time, the man's expression changed. A slow, unnatural smile crept across his face. "Because I never left," he whispered. Jack's blood turned to ice. The air in the store felt heavy, suffocating. The fluorescent lights flickered. The hum of the cooler droned louder, almost deafening. Jack's breath came in shallow gasps. The man reached into his pocket and placed something on the counter. A newspaper, yellowed with age. Jack hesitated before unfolding it. The headline sent a shiver down his spine. "Gas station clerk murdered in robbery 1983. His eyes darted to the photograph below. It was the same gas station, same counter. And standing behind it, was Jack. His vision blurred, a dizzying wave of nausea hitting him. The man across from him chuckled, a dry, rasping sound. Jack staggered backward, knocking over a display of chips. He looked at his trembling hands, transparent, fading. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. The last thing he saw before darkness consumed him was the man stepping behind the counter, slipping into the space where Jack had once stood. The register chimed. A new shift had begun. And outside, the road stretched empty into the night, waiting for the next traveler to stop in for gas, unaware of the new clerk behind the counter, waiting with a hollow smile and a pack of Reds.